The under-23 Vietnam football team fought bravely to turn a new page in Vietnam's football history.
Under 23 of Vietnam, we came here today. We reached this far. We proved that we are one of the best teams in Asia.
United and disciplined, the under-23 Vietnam team shocked Asia with their performance at the AFC Under-23 Championships, where each member fought for each other, for Vietnamese supporters, and most of all, for the national flag on their chests. Just as important as the coach on the pitch, the team captain played an important role in the historic win of Under-23 football squad. Calm, accurate, inspiring. Meet Lương Xuân Trường, the captain of the Under-23 Vietnam football squad.
Hello there and welcome to this edition of Talk Vietnam. As you've seen, Under-23 Vietnam, or as they're lovingly known here in the country as U23, has been one of the things that Vietnamese people all over the country have been mentioning throughout January of 2018, when they made history coming to the finals of the Asian Football Confederation Under-23 Championships, being the first runner-up, the first time a Vietnamese Under-23 team has been able to do so. We're very lucky today in our Talk Vietnam to learn more about this victory through central midfielder Lương Xuân Trường, who is also the captain of the team. Hi, Trường.
Hello everyone. My name is Trường, captain of Under-23 Vietnam. Nice to see all of you.
Yes, thank you so much. Now, I represent everyone here and, of course, everyone watching in congratulating you and your team, as well as Coach Park Hyun-soo in achieving this great victory and making, of course, everyone here in Vietnam very proud. If you had to choose three words that, three things that made up that victory, what would you say?
Firstly, I want to mention the solidarity. The second one is the fighting spirit. And the third is the self-confidence.
Self-confidence, yes. What do you think makes up that solidarity within the team? Something that has been, very symbolic of the Vietnamese spirit, that fighting spirit as well.
Well, the solidarity of the team is the most important thing, because when everybody tried to make the success for the team, try for only one target, and try to make everybody knows that we are one team, and that makes the team look very strong. And about the fighting spirit, when we play on the pitch and when we are so tired, we think about the Vietnamese supporter, we think about our country, and yes, we get more energy.
Yes, you draw a lot of your inspiration and motivation from the Vietnamese people.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the year when the Vietnam Under-23 team made history at the tournament. Many people would want to ask, what's the secret weapon for the Under-23 team?
Let me think. I think there's no secret weapon, because until the last second of the final match, we show all what we have, so people can see, people can feel how our players want to give to the Vietnamese supporter. And yes, I think that everybody in Vietnam, they can understand what the Under-23 Vietnam players try to do. Actually, we don't have any secret weapon.
Yes, you've shown your true selves, and people have seen right through you.
The AFC Under-23 Championship held in China was the setting for one of Asian football's great underdog stories. Vietnam came with humble expectations, even considered as cannon fodder against strong opponents such as South Korea and Japan. This was coach Park Hang-seo's first major championship with Vietnam. He was Gus Hidding's assistant for the South Korean team when they became one of the 2002 FIFA World Cup's top four. With his help, the Vietnam Football Federation, or VFF, hopes to create a breakthrough for the boys in red. They went all the way to the finals and conquered the hearts of many football fans. Vietnam's incredible journey started by facing the runner-up in the last event, South Korea. They held their own against the bigger and more experienced opponent, but lost the game 1-2 via header in the second half. Vietnam made a surprise in the second match of the group stage against Australia. Quang Hai took a shot from inside the box, securing Vietnam's first ever victory in the championship. The final match of the group stage against Syria was a test of endurance for Vietnam as they held on for the whole 90 minutes. Netting 4 points after 3 matches, Vietnam officially qualified for the quarterfinals. Vietnam's first opponent was Iraq. It was a nerve-wracking 120 minutes with both teams chasing after each other until the final minutes of the extra halves. The 3-3 draw forced them to a penalty shootout. Goalie Bùi Tiến Dũng kept his nerve and helped his teammates secure a 5-3 win. Vietnam met another representative of West Asia, Qatar, in the semi-final. The match was another tight chase and also had to be decided by penalty shootout. Once again, goalie Tiến Dũng saved the day. For the first time in history, Vietnam, a team from ASEAN, advanced to the final round. Vietnam's final opponent was Uzbekistan. They were the first to score in the 8th minute of the first half. Despite the weather, Quang Hai curled a stunning free kick into the top corner, bringing both teams back to the start. Just when fans thought it had to be decided by shootout, Uzbekistan scored a lightning-quick goal, winning the match 2-1. Tears have fallen. There was no fairy tale ending for Vietnam. Despite this, they won the championship's Fair Play Award. Quang Hai's free kick was voted the most beautiful goal on AFC's website. And more than the championship, Vietnam won the hearts of millions of fans back home as well as abroad, proving that the Coast No wasn't enough to quench the flames of passion and thirst for victory.
For you as the captain going into the finals, seeing all that snow out there and such harsh weather condition, what went through your mind?
Well, firstly, I would say that nobody wanted to play under that bad weather. And also nobody wanted to watch the game, the final match, under that very, very bad weather. And but we had no choice that time because the difficulties are for the both teams. We have to try our best anyway. Whatever happens,
yes.
We have to fight. Yeah.
For the team yourself, did you have to prepare in any way for that special match? I mean, not only was it the finals, but it also kind of the circumstances were very different from any match that you've been in.
Yeah, that's right. As you say, we never play under that weather.
Yes. I think for many of the
Snowing.
teammates,
Yes,
you've
yes,
never
yes.
seen snow.
Yeah, for some player, that was the first time they saw snow. But before that game, I told my teammates, I told every player that we reached this far today because we spent a lot of effort and we made everything. We try to show everything to get the success like today. And we have just one more step. We can be the champion of Asia. And so why not? Why wouldn't try our best for that match, even though it's going to be a very difficult match, very different match you never played before. and whatever happens, the difficulties are for the both teams. So we never blame we lose because of the weather or anything else. And let's think about Vietnamese supporters.
Yes.
They are waiting for the biggest celebration in the Vietnamese football history. So why would we stop here? We have to try. We have to fight for them.
Yes.
And everybody agree with that.
When you're out there in the field, there are moments like this. The moment at the end where everyone was coming together. I mean, that has become the iconic kind of image these past few days. For the team, how meaningful is such moment?
Yeah, as you know, we played the final match under the snowy weather, and that image also also is the image that I like the most. It shows a lot of things: difficulty, passion, effort, and their happiness. Yeah.
It was 9 degrees back here in Hanoi. People were shivering, but it was like minus degrees there. I can't imagine actually how hard it must have been. And to kind of lose that at the very last minute when Uzbekistan made that last shot. For you, what was going on through your mind at that moment?
That moment, I asked myself, and I look at the clock, look at the watch of the referee, and I asked how much longer we have. I want to score one more goal to take the equalize, but the time was too short to make it happen. So yeah, I'm kind of sad, you know.
Of course, I think the hearts of millions of Vietnamese people sank at that moment, seeing that shot. But you came home still as heroes. For many football fans, tell us about that homecoming. I mean, it was epic. It took you 5 hours to get from the airport to the center of the city, even though it's only a 30-minute journey normally.
That's right. I would say that should be one of the best memory, the best moment in my life. And I didn't expect that a lot of people were waiting for us in Hanoi, but when I step on the bus and when I see people around me, millions of people around me, and I ask myself, is it true? Did we just win the trophy or not? But yeah, we were so happy, and I wanted to cry actually.
The incredible journey of the Under-23 Vietnam football team at the AFC Championships did not end in China. The footballers and their coaches came home to the full embrace of Vietnamese fans. The team's solidarity and fair play spirit inspired a sense of national pride and unity among Vietnamese people who flooded the streets to welcome the return of their football heroes. For many football fans, the moment at the end of the match when player Duy Mạnh planted the Vietnamese flag into the snow-deep field and bowed to the audience will always be an unforgettable image. Vũ Văn Thang's awesome way of celebrating the kick that carried the team to the finals. Quang Hai's sensational goals and the gesture of his teammates using their hands to sweep away the snow, creating a platform for him to make that rainbow in the snow goal. Or Captain Xuân Trường kiss for the national flag on his chest after the successful penalty kick. He would then bring coats to keep his teammates warm in Trangzhou's freezing climate. These beautiful images show the world that the Under-23 Vietnam football team play with solidarity. The young players are just as close to one another off the pitch, with the birthday celebrations such as this, right after the down-to-the-wire victory against Team Iraq. One of the elements that has unified the team is head coach Park Hang-seo. Although he has just led the team since October 2017, he has created a connection to turn the team into an unified whole.
Park Hang-seo, your coach, whom you call Thai, is a very important, instrumental part behind the team's success. Can you tell us a little bit more about your coach?
I would say shortly. On the pitch, he's a very strict coach, but off the pitch, he's very good father.
Yeah.
He always try to take care of his children, try to talk to us, and he always tries to make us happy, make us smile. And when he came to Vietnam, I had no idea about this head coach, but until now, he's very great coach for me.
Yes. You mentioned that he is like a father to many of you in the team. So, of course, you know, he's a coach. He coaches you in football. But what else has he taught you in life, in kind of becoming the people that you are?
At his age, he has a lot of experience in his life, and every single sentence he say to us, it is one lesson.
Can you give us an example?
He asked the players, whenever you stand up after any meal, try to push the chair in.
Yes.
And when you use the toothpick, try to cover your mouth.
Yeah. So very common kind of, you know, little things.
Yes.
But it makes a difference in kind of, you know, the person that you are and how you. I also heard, you know, I've been reading the news, and I'm sure everyone here has been reading the news in the past day, that it is Coach Park Hang-seo who kind of changed your diet. And he also encouraged you to talk more to one another as a team instead of using your phone at the table.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, how has this kind of helped the players bond it together more?
Every day, Mr. Park gives to the player 1 hour to play video game. Yeah, just only 1 hour.
Oh yes, 1 hour.
Yeah. And he asked the players to try to talk more. Because when we try to talk more, we can learn from each other. I think that is one of the reasons can make the team better and more solidarity.
Yes. So a lot of the fans of the Vietnam under-23 team have been pouring out a lot of love, and one fan has been sending us some of his artworks, this fan art from an artist named Phạm Bảo Hòa, and he's an artist from Quảng Bình. And these are some of the artworks that he's done. And if I may show you some, and if you can tell us a little bit, if you recognize some of your very close teammates here, okay?
Sure.
All right. So this is, of course,
he's a funny father.
Funny father. Who is this? The man who gave us many wonderful goals during the tournament, yes?
Accurate in every situation.
Accurate in every situation, yes.
The best hairstyles of the team.
The best hairstyle, yes. We could see that. Very, stylish hairdo. And next one. Who is this?
Yes, Pinky Boss.
Pinky Boss.
Là con cái phải xinh.
The Queen, yes. These are
Noisy roommate,
noisy roommate. When has he been noisy to you?
always.
Always.
Yêu mà anh sẽ yêu mãi yêu một mình em không còn linh tinh luôn chung tình chỉ có em mà thôi đúng bất cả chi đủ bất cả chi.
And who's this?
Dancer of the team.
Dancer of the team. Yes. Who is this? Van Tang, yes, the man. The man.
Icon of the team.
The man. The icon of the team. Mike, yes.
The role model vice captain.
Role model vice captain,
Yeah.
yes. Sun Mike, yes.
He's the man who always tries best and never gives up.
Never gives up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
King of PK, penalty kick.
Penalty kick,
Yeah.
king of penalty kick.
He made Vietnamese people to be heart attack.
Heart attack.
Yeah.
Gives people heart attack. Yes. And who is this, everyone? Yes. Who is
PlayStation loser.
PlayStation?
Yeah, I am the winner.
Oh, that's why he looks so sad.
For you.
And?
I have no idea about this person.
Captain, yes, the captain.
Thank you.
And you know, as many people have said, the heart and soul, you know, contributing to many of the wonderful kind of victories that the under-23 team has been able to make.
A toddler, Xuân Trường, already in the spotlight at his preschool Healthiest Kid competition. The Tuyên Quang native grew up with a football never too far from his feet or heart. By the time Trường was 10 years old, he, together with the Tuyên Quang provincial junior football team, had gained 1 silver and 2 bronze medals at the nationals. Football scouts were drawn to the skillful performance and passion for the young Xuân Trường.
Cháu và các bạn trong đội rất sung sướng vì được nhận cúp ở Phú Thọ và được đi vào Khánh Hòa thi đấu. Và trong Khánh Hòa cháu sẽ thi đấu với tinh thần trung thực, cao thượng và thi đấu hết mình để đoạt lấy giải mang về.
It was not before long that 12-year-old Xuân Trường became among students in the debut class of the Hoàng Anh Gia Lai Arsenal JMG Academy.
Tôi là Lương Xuân Trường, quê ở Tuyên Quang.
Throughout his teenage years, Trường studied and lived at the academy away from home.
Ngày đầu thì có vất vả nhưng tập nhiều với các bạn cảm thấy vui và không cảm thấy mệt mỏi.
It is from this cradle of education that Xuân Trường, along with many other members of the current under-23 Vietnam team, have grown up and shaped their lifelong love for the sport that is football.
You're very close to your family with your mom and your dad, who I believe was also an amateur football player. And we've been seeing circulating on the web a video of a younger you, small Xuân Trường, in kind of football gear and answering questions, doing interviews already so professionally. And how old were you then?
That time I was 10 years old.
10 years
or 9.
old.
I don't know. I don't remember. But I was very, very young, just a little boy.
Yes.
And my father was a big football fan. I think that's why he wanted me to be a professional football player. Because he couldn't do that. I don't know, maybe he played bad. Or maybe he couldn't play football really well.
Yes. No, but he was the one who led you into football, right?
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He tried to make me to be a professional football player, and he asked me to do the exercises. And
when did he start you on football? How old were you when you had your first kick?
I think whenever I could run, maybe.
Wow.
When I was 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah. And after that, when I was 8, I asked him to bring me to take me to a football center in my province, Tuyên Quang.
Yes.
And a few years later, I decided football is my life. Yeah.
He must be so proud of you now.
I think so. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time talking to them after your big win in the semifinals?
In the semi-final, after a very big victory, I called them, but they didn't pick up the phone. And after that, I called them again. They told me that we were outside
out celebrating
on the road. Yeah, we were celebrating.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was not the first time Lương Xuân Trường parents had hosted such a gathering at their home in Tuyên Quang City to watch football. Yet, with Trường and the under-23 team into the AFC finals, the crowd of family members, neighbors and fans was certainly the biggest the house had seen. There were even strangers who had traveled from far just to cheer on the game along with Xuân Trường family.
Lần đầu tiên nhưng mà mình hỏi thăm đường mình đến. Giờ rất may là mọi người thấy mình cầm cờ đã biết là mình đến đây để cổ vũ Xuân Trường thì là quá tự hào.
Everyone watched with great anticipation during the historic final match, and as Vietnam scored the equalizer shot in the first half, the crowd, along with Trường biggest fans, his father and mother, jumped for joy.
Cảm ơn các con đã mang lại cho tất cả mọi người dân hâm mộ triệu trái tim con tim được sống trong những giây phút hạnh phúc, tự hào.
It is Xuân Trường father, Bác Chiến, who trained him in basic football exercises as early as he was 5 or 6. Chiến wholeheartedly supported his son's decision at 12 years old to join the Hoàng Anh Gia Lai Arsenal JMG Academy. He had full faith in Trường, whom he believed would not only be a talented football player.
Các con lại được học theo, trước hết là học làm người, chứ không phải là học bóng đá học sau đấy. Học làm người và học văn hóa, xong mới đi học bóng đá và học tiếng Anh.
Throughout the years, Xuân Trường parents have been the unrelenting fans cheering him on at each game. It's this support system that has nurtured and became the basis of the footballer's success in his career.
Throughout your childhood, how do you think your father and mother helped you to nourish this passion for football?
Well, when I left my province to Gia Lai to be a player of Hoàng Anh Gia Lai Arsenal JMG Academy,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was 12 years old.
Very young.
And nobody in my family allowed me to go. Except my father, but he cannot be against the whole members of my family. But I told them that just let me go and give me like a couple of weeks. I will give you the answer later. And just a few days later, I decided I would stay because football life is very amazing.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing that you made that decision at such a young age.
Yeah.
How was it living far away from home at 12, and how was the life in the football camp?
Homesick.
Homesick?
Yes. And homesick. But that time I have a lot of friends the same age with me, so we had a lot of fun to do, and that time football is all for me. All the time I want to play football. So, well, I miss my mom, my dad, but that time football is very big dream of me. So,
yes.
So I asked my parents, just don't be worried about me, and I would come home soon, but not now.
Having grown up in the Hoàng Anh Gia Lai Arsenal JMG Academy, Xuân Trường joined the club's first team in 2015. He continued playing for Hoàng Anh Gia Lai until late December when he joined South Korea's Incheon FC on a 2-year loan deal. Xuân Trường made history by becoming the first Vietnamese player to play in the K-League. However, heading to one of Asia's top countries in football was always going to be a challenge. Although Trường has proven that he is K-League material, he didn't have as much playing time as he could have during his first season at Incheon United, as well as his second season in Gangwon FC 1 year later. However, his time in South Korea wasn't wasted. Trường gained a lot of experience from playing with Korean players in his time playing for the R-League, a league for the reserve team of clubs in the K-League. Trường scored 1 goal and made multiple assists. The conclusion of the 2017 season was also the end of his contract with Gangwon FC.
Xuân Trường rất là chuyên nghiệp. Đấy, tại vì là em cháu ấy đã được ra ngoài tu nghiệp thì thấy được cái chuyên nghiệp của nước ngoài, thì bạn ấy đã mang cái chuyên nghiệp của nước ngoài vào trong đất nước chúng ta để tất cả các bạn chúng ta học tập. Đấy, chuyên nghiệp từ cái sinh hoạt, chuyên nghiệp từ cái tập luyện và trong thi đấu.
Your next big milestone after the Hoàng Anh Gia Lai Arsenal JMZ was the opportunity to play for the Incheon United in Korea. Tell us about how this happened.
Well, I couldn't believe that one club in Korea, they sent offer to me. And when I first heard about that, I say, okay, let's try. Until now, I spent 2 years in Korea, and everything was so difficult for me. They cannot speak English, and I don't have any translator, and everything I try to talk is by my hands.
Yes, so a lot of body language.
The second one is I don't have any Vietnamese friend there. I don't know who I can share my feeling. Kind of lonely. Yes. Yeah. On the other hand, the Korean players, they are very strong. They have very good physical, and they are taller than me. And in every single contact, I'm the one who lost.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're bigger, but you're faster. Yeah. Now, throughout those 2 years, what were you able to learn? What was your best experience in those 2 years in Korea?
I really like the way of the Korean players, they do every day. I like the way they think about football, and I like the way they make football is one of the best jobs in their life. They are very professional.
What gave you the decision to come back, from Korea, and not play for Incheon United anymore, but come back to Vietnam?
Actually, my contract was ended in December, in the last December, and The next year, I haven't decided yet, but I want to play in some club that gives me more opportunities. Yes. I don't want to take risk this year because K-League Classic is a very challenging league for me. I want to play safe this year. If I keep good condition, I can be in the national team this year. Yes. So I will try to play more.
That's your next big goal, yeah? To make it into the national team. How is it coming back to Vietnam after 2 years?
Actually, until now, I don't have any different feeling yet because I go and back. Until now, I didn't have the whole day with my family. Maybe after 5 months, I can give you the answer.
Exactly. You need some time to rest and to spend time with your loved ones.
The fresh and charming members of the under-23 football squad, with the youngest member only 19 years old, have captivated the hearts of many young supporters. Some chose to take to the streets to join the homecoming parade. Others chose art as an expression of love for the footballers. Everything from depicting memorable moments on the field to mimicking quirky and playful videos, to even jokingly mocking their football heroes. The Cyber artists will add an adorable collection of tribute fan art.
Have you seen some of the fan art that a lot of fans have drawn about, the team members of the under-23 team? Some of them are quite funny, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. What do you think of people kind of giving you this little championship called, you are the guy who, the midfielder who can't really see but still can kick?
Really? Can I not really see? My eyes are small, but I can see it very well.
Very well.
Yeah.
Yes, I think a lot of our audiences here at home, they like to call you by the very sweet name of Heep Heep.
Yeah.
For our fans out there who's curious about what do you want to say to them, many of the love that has been poured out to you and your team members, what would you say to your fans?
Firstly, I would like to say thank to them because you guys always try to support us, try to give love to the team, and that is one of the most motivation for the team. And in the future, I would like to go with you guys longer. I'm sure that we'll have more memories together, and let's win the match together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ấn tượng đầu tiên của tôi khi mà Trường đá cho U19 đấy là tôi đã bình luận thế này, tức là có lẽ bóng đá Việt Nam chưa có một tiền vệ nào mà có thể chuyền bóng đa dạng và tốt như vậy, chuyền hai chân gần như nhau. Đến bây giờ thì tôi vẫn giữ nguyên ấn tượng như vậy, tức là những quả chuyền có thể nói là làm đồng đội rất dễ nhận bóng, những quả chuyền chuẩn xác cả về hướng bóng, lực bóng và tầm bóng bằng cả hai chân, cả ngắn cả dài cả trung bình, thì thực sự Xuân Trường là một cổ hiếm về khả năng chuyền bóng.
Trường thì đóng vai trò rất quan trọng của đội bóng. Trường thi đấu như một cái bộ não của đội bóng. Những đường chuyền chọc khe và những đường chuyền dài của Trường nó rất là chính xác. Thì lúc Trường mang đội trưởng thì có những lúc đội bóng thì gặp khó khăn. Đội trưởng thì cũng nhắc tất cả đồng đội tập trung gắn kết nhau và đoàn kết với nhau để vượt qua những giai đoạn khó khăn đó.
Xuân Trường là một cầu thủ tốt và cũng là một thủ lĩnh của đội. Thì Phượng nghĩ là Xuân Trường xứng đáng được chức đội trưởng ở đấy.
You mentioned earlier that your next big goal is to make it into the national team. What is your longer dream? What is your big dream for your life?
For my biggest dream in this year is winning the trophy in AFF Suzuki Cup.
Yes.
Yeah. As you remember, 2 years ago in Hanoi, we lost Indonesia in very emotional match.
Yes.
I don't want it to happen again. And I want to win the trophy with national team.
Yes. That's your goal for this year.
Yeah.
How about in 10 years? Where do you see
10
yourself?
years. When I retire.
That's only retiring from football. You're not retiring at like 30.
I'm not sure, but maybe I would try to be a singer.
A singer?
No, just kidding. And
Are you sure? Can you sing?
no. I just can sing in my bathroom.
In your bathroom?
Yeah, it's in my biggest concert ever.
Back to your 10-year plan. Any plans for, what you might do after retiring from your kind of being a player, a football player?
I would try to continue with football, and if I can, I hope that I can help the Vietnamese football improve quicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you think, would be the best way to do that?
I hope that there will be more investment into the young education of football.
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of the education of younger footballers, right? So you've become like a bit of a hero to many of the young footballers out there. To the 10-year-olds who are like little Xuân Trường 10 years ago, what would you say to them?
I would say to them that if you like football, try to be the greatest football player.
Yes. Push all through, the difficulties and the hardships, right?
Yes. Never give up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Xuân Trường. Vietnam is very proud to have such a team as yourself and a coach such as Mr. Park Hang-seo in creating such a historic victory for Vietnam, the Vietnamese football industry. We wish you all of the best of luck in your future endeavors, that you fulfill all of your nearby kind of goals and dreams of making it into the national team and winning at the AFF Suzuki Cup. We're all going to be cheering, is that right? And yes, and of course your longer term dream of we'll hope to continue see you accompany Vietnamese football to success.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have a lot of fun here. Yes. I have a great time here. Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition, and we'll see you more next time here on Talk Vietnam. Goodbye for now.